Hi everyone, it's me, Simone. I'm not here to spider fuck ya. I'm here to present some good old kick-ons. Sorry. Shit.
That's yours. Sorry. Hello and welcome to Kick-Ons. My name is Simone, and on this week's episode, I'm joined by the glamour bug herself, Queen of Piss, Etcetera Etcetera.
Oh, thank you for inviting me and introducing me with my full formal title.
That is true, actually.
Ceremonial.
It's in the contract.
It is. It's in my rider. Queen of Piss, and you don't want to see what's backstage.
Never ever.
You coming to Kick-Ons?
Before we start, a quick disclaimer. The following short-form internet video is for entertainment purposes only. Drag is fun. Drag race is fun. Talking about drag race is fun. Hateful comments are not fun. So if you feel the impulse to type anything nasty to any of the queens, then please feel free to not do that. Thank you. Anyway, now on with the show.
Yeah, let's get on with it.
Yes. How are you going, Etcetera Etcetera?
I'm going fantastic.
I'm interrupting you. I'm thirsty. So I think it's time that we bring in the tradie of the season, the official tro. Come on in with thirsty, darling. Come on in.
Oh, liquid me.
Yes, feel it up. Thank you. Oh, yeah. No, that's not a good pour. More. To the rim. To the rim. Thank you. Thank you. That's just
You can be more conservative with mine.
That's how Mama likes it.
Oh, look at that. Cheers. Actually, I'd rather not.
What's been going on? What are the exciting things you've done? Brand deal survivor.
To be honest, I appreciate the sentiment, but I don't want these people knowing what I'm up to.
We're going to go through what happened on episode 2, give our thoughts, feelings, emotions. It's very exciting. We've got an acting challenge. We have a real runway, as in actual clothes that they didn't have to make out of leaves. So it's everything you want out of a Drag Race episode.
Yeah, and also some things that I didn't want. And I think we're going to talk about them.
Yeah.
And an acting challenge is interesting. Both of us never got an acting challenge.
No.
We never got the pleasure of being able to ham it up and be fools in front of Rupaul. But I guess we've been compensating for that since. Look at us now.
Look at our legacy. Look at our legacy.
Look at our legs.
Oh, wow.
Fucking hell. We were born with these and we just ran with them. Because they're legs and you run on legs.
So, top of the episode. We've just found out that Faux Fur has gone home.
Which is a shame because she was the loudest and funniest in the first episode. She
Yeah.
was so animated and just personality out the gate. And I also thought her outfit wasn't that bad. Like in the grand scheme of things, I obviously whatever about the panty, but I thought she definitely had an energy of a faint little wispy woman in the grass.
She got a great edit for the first episode, so she can be really happy with that. I think there was no denying that Spanky won that lip sync with the crazy buffoonery and tomfoolery. So poor Foe's gone home. She's left a mirror message. No one can read it.
No one can read it, and I think we'll move on there.
No,
It's hard to write with a lipstick. Fuck. Sometimes I see in these... Are we allowed to swear on this?
Yes.
Fuck. I sometimes... Sorry, I was just checking. Sometimes I see the American seasons and they write like a fucking theoretical essay, thesis, documentation of their entire life. And I think I could barely write hello without the lipstick turning into just a quagmire of red.
I think my lipstick ran out like halfway through my message. Like, it's actually a lot harder than it looks.
I think that's because you're just angry and you're pressing really hard. Oh, it's gone. Fo did a good job writing.
Whatever she wrote,
Whatever
I don't
she
know.
wrote.
But Spanky has to wipe it off. She sent someone home.
Yeah.
And we roll into the beginning of the episode. So it's a new day in the workroom. Minnie Cooper has strutted in with a mission, all right? She wants to clear the air with Aubrey.
To be honest, I am so sick of watching drag queens on TV argue about nothing.
This episode is really heavily reliant on people's previous beef that if you're outside of the Sydney drag scene, you've never heard of before in your life. And frankly, you don't care because if it doesn't happen on the show, it doesn't happen.
Yeah, I want to see people getting more riled up about their creative passions.
Speaking of, we have our mini challenge for this week. And Molly Poppins, the winner of last week's episode, gets to choose recipients for this pageant, this imaginary pageant.
I think the pageant is a really strategic opportunity for you to scope out your competition. And I think who you bestow the greatest competition title to maybe says something about not potentially who you think your greatest competition actually is, but who you maybe want to think that person thinks that you think they are.
I love your idea, but I don't think Molly Poppins was going that deep. Because
No.
let's look at the Who She awarded the things to. All right, greatest competition. Yuri Guy was, dare I say, second last week.
And
Makes
does she
sense.
feel like she maybe shouldn't have won last week? Maybe she thinks that Yuri's outfit was better than hers. She said it.
Well, it was.
Well, she said it. Even Molly said it. She
And
said,
it was again
yeah.
this week, but we'll get to it.
Yeah, we'll get to
Bit of all right. Queen Kong makes sense. You can't
Yeah.
give a second one to Yuri, unfortunately.
No, that would be unfair to give 2 sashes. Although nothing in the rules prohibits it.
and then there was another one that I've forgotten, so I don't really care.
Oh, Daggiest Drag to
Oh.
Spanky. And I believe, look, to be honest, the first 2 outfits that we got from Spanky, Daggy.
All we've seen is a little dress with long legs and the abomination that was last week. The car crash, kiddie pool, hamster gerbil moment, valid. So I don't think she was getting too strategical.
Yeah, and the categories weren't very deep. I think on the American version, when they do this, sometimes they do like, who do you think is the bitchiest little bitch who deserves to be shot in the head with a big gun? And then they're like, my best friend.
Yeah.
And it's really dramatic. But this time it was like, who do you think's okay, I guess?
Taking the right.
Yeah, they're right.
Greatest
Yeah.
competition. So we've been assigned the pageant winners, and Rue says, Molly, we're splitting them up. There's the sash team and the non-sash team.
Yes.
And then Molly has to join the sash team.
Correct.
And she is presented with the aftermath of her pageant time. So our challenge this week is a scripted acting challenge.
Hooray!
Hey! I can hear Karen screaming all the way from Edinburgh at the moment. She's going, I just wanted a scripted acting challenge.
Karen.
Well, from finance.
Oh, yes. Sorry. I was like, all the Karens of the world unite.
no.
They're like, we love acting. Yes. No, she was crying out for it.
Yes, she was desperate for a scripted acting challenge. It is here finally, season 2. It is obviously a play on a bit of Wentworth there. It is a prison drama. Also harkens back to the original Tuckahoe Prison acting challenge with Latrice Royale.
There's a lot of references. When I saw Aubrey, Pamara, Hannah, and Minnie, they were all like, yeah, we've been around the block a few times. We've seen the shows. We were on the shows. We've been the shows.
No, but a lot of them have done acting before. Hannah's done a KFC commercial.
Shut up and take my money.
Guess who back in the house?
Minnie Cooper's been on things.
That. Then Pam do tap. Come on, man.
And as Hannah said, Pamara is Pamara.
My name's Pamara.
And that speaks in volumes.
And then, of course, we have Aubrey Have, who is a musical theatre trained.
You can't believe I'm alive. You can't believe I do these deeds. And in her bio, it says she's weaponizing her BFA.
Yes.
So,
Well, this is the episode for her.
yeah, yes.
Well, no.
Yes, no.
But also, I do want to note, it should have been called Bentworth instead of Cage Queens. I think that was a missed opportunity. But also, that does harken back to the girl group challenge, because maybe they couldn't call it Bentworth. Because remember when you all had to name yourselves and you had to get legal to check if the names were allowed?
We got called on the show Outback Fake-Hose.
But what did you want to be?
The original name that I chose for the team was Outback Steak-Hose.
Yes.
Like Outback Steakhouse, but said with a
Yes.
bit of a... We're the Outback Steak-Hose.
Stiggers.
Steak-Hose.
Brilliant big stiggers.
And they said we couldn't use the brand name. It was too similar.
Yeah, they literally checked with legal while you were filming.
They should have called it Hot Horny Sluts in the Prison Cell Guzzle Down That Sexy Prison
With a
Juice.
big rock
Big,
hole.
lovely lumps on the
Put
fucking...
it in the
yummy,
the wall,
yummy.
turn it on, flick the
Yeah.
switch.
Oh.
Which I think was probably a plan B, but we did go with Cage Queens. We've got our 2 teams, the actresses versus the sashes. They then start filming the challenge. I don't know, the teams did not make any sense past that point because Pamara is in the entire thing.
Pamara was just...
Sorry, Casey Donovan is in the entire thing.
Pamara did the whole challenge.
Casey Donovan. That was Casey. You cannot tell me any different. That was Casey Donovan with a purple lip and a pink nail. That was her. She was there.
I mean, I don't really know what she looks like. Sorry.
Let's harken back to Australian Idol when she won.
I didn't watch that.
Oh,
I don't even think I was alive.
okay. All right.
Was that Casey?
Ageism? What are we going to do about it?
No.
That is a POGD,
that's-
point of generational difference.
That is your ageism, assuming that everyone knows who Casey Donovan is.
Oh, you just said to me I wasn't alive then.
Yeah, well, that's just a fact.
Oh, so acting challenge. Pamara, I don't know what team she's on because she seems to be in both groups so much. I think the groups are thrown out the window. And if anything, they're more pairs. So we have Hannah and Minnie.
Yes.
Incredible.
Honestly, I remember pretty much only their parts of filming, just because instantly as they came in, it was just so funny. Like, both so in character. And I think if you know Hannah and Minnie, you've seen them do variations of these characters in shows and up and down Oxford Street.
Also, this is where Minnie brings in that she has dyslexia. So she struggles with reading and getting the words jumbled, so she prefers to hear it so she can lock it into her memory.
Yeah, and good on her feeling safe enough to bring it up to people. And, you know, instead of internalizing it and feeling ashamed of it, she went out there and she said, you know, this is something I deal with and I will need a bit of extra help. And I think it's important to talk about those kind of things.
Because I feel like this entire episode was a tribute to you, etc., etc. Because there is a lot of flashbacks to your time on Drag Race. There's insects. There is a lot of piss play. And you got in trouble the last time the green screen was pulled out.
Yeah, so when I was doing my little piss advertisement, I got a bit too enthusiastic with my discharging of the piss liquid, and it hit the green screen and left a little, you know.
Yeah, little piss mark.
Little piss mark. What do they call that?
Oh, LBL, light bladder leakage.
Light bladder leakage.
Yes.
I had a bit of. I left some little drippy droppies on the green.
It
green
was
screen.
Red Bull. Let's.
It was a liquid. But no, I'm always excited to see piss on national TV, and I feel like I may have opened the doors to a generation of people, older and younger than me, to look at piss and think, the frontier of comedy is here.
And it was also exciting to see the green screen back, and a couple of wide shots to show that yes,
It's on the runway.
it's on the runway.
It's on the runway.
It's on the runway. Snatch Game was on the runway.
Yes.
With a little bit of tinsel behind it, and Rue goes to Michelle, "I've never seen it done this compact before."
And you could just exchange the word compact with so many adjectives.
We've got Michelle and Reese judging and directing and helping these queens through their scenes.
But they didn't do much direction.
No.
They just kind of sat there and went, oh, this is a bit bad.
Yeah.
And they just let them do it. So I'm not sure if they gave more direction on the day, but yeah, they just kind of watched the chaos, and it was a little bit chaotic.
Yeah, usually when you watch that filming process happen, you can clock who's the top, who's the bottom, or who's doing well, who's struggling. They give them the most airtime, right? But everyone was doing badly, except Hannah.
Yeah, the only
Minnie
people that...
messed up a couple of times, but
Yeah.
Hannah was the only one that had them laughing and was like tick, 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 tick.
And I couldn't even really understand in context what Hannah was doing or what Hannah was saying. She was on her toilet being like, have a sip of this one. It was just all very I don't know what direction this is going in, but I'm sure I'll find out later.
How did you feel seeing a Diamante microphone on Drag Race?
I used the little money that I made from being on reality TV to go to some therapy sessions. It was first day of therapy was being in the same room as the microphone.
Yeah.
Second day of therapy was approaching the microphone.
And look at you today, you're holding one.
Yeah, it's taken me a year to get here.
Look at you.
Hang on. I think I'm going to... I love you again. We're back. I think one of the things that Aubrey stumbled on is that when she was in a scene, she wasn't fully present. She was very focused on her own lines, her own characterization, whereas the strength with Minnie and Hannah was that they were really up in each other's grills. They were playing off each other's energy, whereas when you saw Aubrey, she was very okay, now I say my line, and I'm going to give my delivery, and then I'm going to kind of block out what's happening around me. I feel like she could have worked a bit better with the ensemble, potentially, and it would have done her a favor, because she didn't have the funniest lines, and I think she could have been funnier when she was bouncing off the other people.
It is very interesting to see someone that is musically theatre trained.
I can't believe I do these deeds.
To be the quiet one. Because when I think of all my friends and all the people that I know that have studied musical theatre, they enter the room, and especially when it comes to acting, and they're like, "Hello, I'm here." They sing a bit better than that, but like that. Imagine if that was sung. That's what they're like 24/7.
They're loud people.
Yes, it's weird that she melted away.
But I mean, in a room of drag queens, it's very
She's also a
easy.
drag queen. You need to remember that. She's not a civilian off the street.
True, but she
didn't just walk in and be like, "Oh, look at all these
I
drag
know.
queens. I'm just melting in."
You are right. And I suppose that might come down to the fact that she started drag in lockdown. She hasn't been raised in the club scene like the rest of us, where backstage we scream over the top of each other to be heard. We have to develop strong, dominant personalities in order to survive. She was sitting at home doing stuff by herself,
Yeah.
and that's okay. She has her own artistic viewpoint and her own style of drag, but in a situation where maybe for the first time she's in a room with 9 other drag queens who are all industry trained professionals, she might feel a little bit outgunned.
It's just interesting though, because episode 1 and even in the promo, she was all guns a-blazing. Getting ready for the runway.
Yes.
We have one of our first heart-to-heart mirror conversations. I feel like I've been jaded from being in the experience, so it's a bit hard for me to watch it without going, I know exactly the story producer going there and saying, "Oh, can you go to Yuri and ask this?"
But in saying that, it's sometimes hard because these are real stories. It's just
Yes.
sometimes the delivery feels a little prompted.
Yes.
But I appreciated Yuri's vulnerability.
Yes.
And also we're getting to see that side of Spanky where
Yeah.
she's this mother hen figure swooping in and really offering that emotional support, first to Foe and now to Yuri.
That is the moment that we were watching it together and I said, she's won the season. She's compassionate. She's lovely. She's talented. She's smart. She's been compassionate to both Minnie.
Dare I say she's also a little bit sexy?
Yeah, a little bit of a daddy. I'm glad they left her in with a bit of a beard for our first interview and then they went. But
I also fancy her in drag. When she gets those legs out, like, come on. I want legs so long that you can see them all the way up.
it's so good. So, but that was the moment that I was like, they are really pushing Spanky. I'm not mad. You bottoms up, bitch. Bottoms up. Yeah, because we are about to witness
Perfect.
our first prepared runway. And it was interesting. Doom, 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 doom. Doom, 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 doom. I think we need to explain to people, though, the studio for the main stage is right next door to the workroom. And when I say right next door, they share a wall. It's probably made of what? Like
Foam.
foam. So when you're doing your makeup, flashes and a bit of glitter, and all you hear is doom, 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 doom.
Dun, dun, dun.
Doom, doom. And the walls are like doosh, doosh,
And you're doing your eyeliner like, oh, mother's here.
Mother's here. Mother.
Now every time I hear CoverGirl, I think of fond memories of being in a freezing cold garage somewhere in South Auckland.
This episode, RuPaul looks like RuPaul. This is probably if the hair was a little bit longer and it was less grey and blonde, this is a standard RuPaul look.
It was a pretty fair approximation of RuPaul if someone had to draw RuPaul from memory.
She looked good.
She
Her
looked-
makeup was better than last week.
Yeah.
Last week's opening outfit was incredible. Like, it was so good. I loved
like when
it.
Ru has fun.
Yes.
You know, I like when she has fun. And sometimes when she gets the legs out, you know, she shows us the gams. We go, good golly, old girl, you really still got them.
When she gets those lovely long lollies out.
Oh, girl.
It's time for our first runway. Category is Fly Girl. And I'm very upset because I know the reason this runway existed is because they named a fly after RuPaul.
Yes, they did. A species of Australian fly was
Yeah.
named after RuPaul. And I believe its name is like Doobloop Bloop Bloop
something
RuPaul.
Latin RuPaul.
Yeah. If anyone is qualified to judge this runway, it is I, Glamour Bug, etc., etc.
Yes.
I've been a bug since I was born.
Yes.
And now these girls get to spend one day being bugs. And let's just say some of them were more buggy than others.
is licensed. We're going to be doing tits or the shits. Okay? So if something is good, it's the tits. If something's bad, it's giving you the shits. Are you on board?
Oh, I'm so on board. I'm ready.
Okay. First cab off the rank, we have Molly Poppins in neon green as instead of a fly girl, it is
I believe she was going for a praying mantis.
didn't do well.
And in fact, she said actually, I'm going for more of a slaying mantis.
Oh, shits or tits?
I'm gonna have to say tits for the makeup, shits for the outfit.
Yeah, from here up, cool.
Yeah.
Like the face jewelry and the makeup and the hair, cool. This, there was like a House of Priscilla Bangkok like sequin choker. Shits.
I just think the attention to detail was so there with the hair and makeup. It read as really editorial,
Yes.
and then when you went from the neck down, it read as more of a dance costume.
Or
which
even like a Halloween costume. It
and
was
I mean,
like,
if it was all married together, it would have made more sense.
Yeah,
I just would have liked to
disconnect.
see the attention to detail go to the floor rather than to the neck.
yeah. Next up, we have Queen Kong as a beautiful fluffy moth. Shits or tits?
I'm going to say tits.
Tits.
Tits for this one. I think it was a really interesting interpretation. I really liked how you looked at it and you could be like, oh, this is really a really beautiful garment, but then also it had the aspects of the moth and the markings of the wings and the hair. The only thing I wish that could have existed was something to do with the makeup to tie it in to the rest of the look.
In the exact same boat for you. The outfit was beautiful, but her face seemed like it was floating. Just wish there was something like, I don't know, maybe she had her eyebrow was actually two things glued on that like came out just like antennae, just to, because it was like amazing. Like there was just this one blip in the thing, but still tits. It was still great.
I also think it's just because she's so pretty in the face that to be a bug is kind of about being a little bit kooky and a little bit off-putting.
Even if I know it, like her makeup artistry is more on like beauty drag. But
Yeah.
even if she did, I've seen it done before, like an eyeball here and an eyeball here to
Yeah.
and she had like an eyeball in the wig and it went 3-3. Like that would have been cool.
Yeah,
I
just
know
something to marry the makeup in. But
Overall,
in terms of the overall look,
tits.
tits.
It's the tits. Yeah, it's the tits.
tits.
So next up we have Aubrey Have in a Mugler-inspired frock. She's got a handbag. She's got wings that come out. She's got all of that going on. I'm going to say it's the tits. It's great. Her outfit was great. The delivery of the outfit, it was hard to watch.
I have a bit of an issue sometimes when girls draw such direct reference from designer but don't execute it with the same level for detail, because I actually think it does them a disservice.
Well, it's like every queen that like goes on and says, Iris Van Herpen.
Iris Van Herpen, yeah, it's the same
Oh,
thing.
Herpen. See, I can't even fucking say it. Imagine me.
I would prefer to see a more original recreation of a silhouette. Like my entrance look was inspired a lot by Schiaparelli and Mugler, but we took it and we spun it in a different way. I think it would have been really nice to see, maybe she's been doing this like vintage kind of like 50s, 60s look with her outfit. Maybe I would have liked to have seen like a Mugler bug in the 70s, you know? I just think there was too much going on, and the original look is so clean and so crisp and so sharp that it distracted from what could have been a really clean, simple idea.
As a whole, if I saw that, I'd give it the tits. It's the tits.
I'd say soft shits.
Our next person down the runway is Mini Cooper, the super duper Mini Cooper, dressed as a beautiful butterfly. When it came down, I was saying to you, I was like, it's like she's taken the Gaultier butterfly corset and turned it into a beautiful, almost like Dior silhouette.
Yeah, it's very new look Dior, but,
Yes.
but taking that beautiful print. I really think that she knocked it out of the park with this one.
Is that a fabric or is that all applique? Because I'm just thinking about it now, the way it was coming down the bodice and everything. Is that printed?
I think for Minnie, it's a really strong choice. It speaks to her background as a musical theatre performer and kind of the silhouettes and ideas that she's used to playing with, but it takes it into a more contemporary space with the hairstyling and the choice of styling with the accessories. And I also think she felt really beautiful in it, and you could tell.
Yeah.
And that's the main thing to selling a garment.
Yeah.
Like, she walked down that runway and you could not tell her shit. And I mean, that's, I suppose, the difference between seeing her delivery and Aubrey's delivery. Aubrey, you could tell, was nervous delivering it, whereas Minnie was so confident. Minnie could have been wearing anything and you would have been like, oh, it's great, but it helped that the outfit was also beautiful.
I'm also just so excited. I've said this a few times. Minnie has been going through the archives, and I said I can't wait until Minnie shows me something new. I believe this is brand new. So,
and if it's not, it's been in the archives for a long fucking time.
I squealed. She looked incredible.
Yeah.
It's It's the tits.
It's the tits. Mini
It's
Cooper.
the tits.
It's the tits. Hard tits.
Hard.
Hard.
It's a hard tits. Next up, down the runway, we have Beverly Kills as a mosquito, I believe. Okay, let's talk about this. Never glue something like that to your forehead unless you want to be called a dickhead, because I thought initially that the stinger, whatever, the mouth, whatever the fuck it's called, was attached to the headpiece, but then it's untucked. I like the bodysuit.
I didn't.
I like the bodysuit. Yeah, that's
No,
it.
this one for me, shit.
It's shit.
I think the problem is that it was so costumey that there was no room to style it. It was so overpowering to her. I couldn't see Beverly. I couldn't see her face. I couldn't see her body. I couldn't see her expression. It was like she was wearing a big suit. Yeah, so shits for me just because I couldn't see her in it. It could have been anyone under there.
It's giving me the shits.
It's giving me the shits.
Now, next up down the runway, we have Pamara Fifth. Shits. I don't want to talk about it. It's the worst on the runway. She walked out like this. Like her whole body language was like, I don't want to wear this fucking thing right now. She wanted to
Yeah, Pamara's outfit gave me the shits.
Yeah.
It just wasn't polished, it wasn't refined, and it didn't give me anything to do with Bug. It looks like a 2 a.m. club costume.
Yeah. Shits. All right. Speaking of the shits, and it pains me. I'm really upset that I have to say this, but we have Spanky Jackson in something even worse than Pamara.
Yeah, it was not good. And it was
it's so bad.
It was just
It's awful. I'm so upset. Okay, let's deconstruct the look. Okay.
head to toe, mama.
Okay. I don't know what was on her head. I don't even want to talk about what was on her head. I don't fucking know what that was.
I believe the correct term is a thingamajig.
Yeah, so she had a thingamajig. Makeup. There was like a blowfly stuck to her face, whereas we were like, Kong, I wish you did something a little bit more insecty. Spanky, no, don't go creative.
No,
Spanky,
I thought that was just a mole.
Spanky, know your strengths. Do not go creative with your makeup. Smoky eye and a pretty lip, and move on. All right, I will not ask for anything more from you. I'm just really upset. All right, and then she has a sequin dress to her nunny. Well, that
Yes.
makes sense. I'm not going to be angry
That's
at
on
that.
brand. That's on brand.
But on
yeah.
top of that, she has fairy wings spray painted black, and they're the fairy wings that are like stocking material put over a wire hanger. Oh my God. Spanky,
Spank, you've hit a nerve here with us, Simone, but I'm here to tell you it's okay. I also didn't like your outfit.
Spanky, if you are watching this right now, please know that I love you, but you really missed the mark on this. And if I have to watch you doing this week in and week out, I'm going to have to come down to see you in New Zealand and go through your wardrobe, Trini and Susanna style, and fix that shit, all right?
Now, Spanky, as not your friend, I'm also going to say don't do it again. Yeah, not good. It was a shit for me.
We can breathe now. Because the next one down the runway, Hanaconda.
I think this is one of my favorite runways in not just on Down Under, but in recent history of Drag Race. The execution was so meticulous. The attention to detail, the reference. It was John Galliano Dior. It was 1920s like flapper aesthetic mixed with like new romantics. It was just so gorgeous.
She looked like an illustration, and it was so simple.
Yep.
Like it was so everyone was like, I'm gonna add this corset with these tendrils and this and that. She had just a beautiful coat on and a beautiful wig and a headpiece.
And you know what impressed me so much about this is Henna is like 3.5 centimeters tall. She's a tiny little lady.
She looked like proportionate.
And she managed to style this look so she wasn't swallowed by it. It looked proportionate, and she just did such a good job. And I also think it's something that maybe audiences haven't seen from Henna so far on the season, or maybe people that know her in real life, they haven't seen this side of her in a while. So I think this is a really strong look for Henna. I just loved the way she sold it as well.
It was with a little tinge.
And it looked like a bug. She still looked like a bug. She looked
She
like
came
a...
out, you knew exactly what she was, but if you'd never seen a bug before in your life, she looked fashion. You know what I mean? Though, like it was fashion.
If you've never seen a bug before in your
I'm
life...
just saying, if there's a world.
Just imagine you're watching RuPaul's Drag Race Down Under Season 2, Episode 2 for the first time, and you go, so that's a bug! Anaconda, it's the tits.
It's the tits.
Stunning look, 10 out of 10 million.
Can I borrow that jacket? Coat. Actually, no, it'll be bolero on me. Can I borrow that bolero? Final person on the runway.
Last runway.
Yes, it is Yuri Guy. As Molly said, this is what you order online versus what arrives, because Molly's was a little bit basic compared to the stunning Yuri Guy that came down in this crazy praying mantis, hooked like crazy insect person in a rave. It's obviously the tits, but compared to other people's, came down to the styling. Her hair and all her makeup were an olive green and everything else was neon. So if you're going to commit to neon, you need to carry it through. It was just the colours that went weird from here upwards, but incredible outfit. I believe maybe she made it herself. We
She
don't
can
know
make
yet.
it herself. Yeah. So that's talent. Talent.
So good.
I just wish the outfit was so good, but I wish she just sold it a little bit better.
But as a whole, Yuri Guy's costume, look, runway, it's the tits.
It's the tits.
It's the tits.
It's the tits.
The world debut of Cage Queens. Dare we say, though, is this the best ever chroma key use in a drag race acting challenge against a green screen?
They were everywhere. Inside, outside, in a tunnel, outside of a tunnel.
But the scale was right.
I
The proportion was
know.
right. And I didn't see a green hue around anyone. So although they filmed it on the main stage, it looked good.
You know what? I reckon they brought the team that did Lord of the Rings in. If they
Oh, no.
if they can make orcs appear out of thin air, they can make those queens look
No.
average in front of a green
Maybe
screen.
that's-
I enjoyed the girls attempting to butch it up. Like playing these like rough, tough women in prison. They were like, you know what will make me look really rough? If I just talk out of this side of my mouth
And a mullet.
and wear an eye patch.
But now I know why season 1 did not have an acting challenge.
If you had to do that challenge, who would you have wanted to play?
Casey Donovan,
I think I would have liked to have played
The Rock.
Henna's character, because, you know, pissing into a cup, I've done it before.
Toilet humour is what put you in the bottom. Yet toilet humour was literally written into a drag race acting challenge and celebrated. And the queen that did the toilet humour was in the top. How do you feel?
It's been really hard seeing other people be applauded for their fluids when I was sorry.
Oh, no, it's
When I was
No, I know, it's fine.
No, it's really hard.
It's fine.
I was taken down from my high lofty perch.
Oh, no.
And I was
Oh, no.
slandered by Rue.
Oh, no. And just hold it straight.
Don't kink shame me.
No.
If I want to piss on national television, let me.
Let alone pissing into a cup and drinking it.
Mama, that's pussy. Also, I thought Hannah was funnier than me, but I think Hannah was funnier because
Yeah, but she was literally squatting on a toilet.
yeah, but that's funny.
Yeah, but
mine was
how is
funny.
that different to you on the same green screen?
Oh, mine
with your back?
Mine was funny. If they had edited it the way I'd written it, it would have been as funny as Hannah's. They had it out for me
Alright,
because I was
to
so
me-
hot and fuckable. Anyway, I think that Hannah was great, and I would have liked to have played her part. She also got to sit down the whole skit. Dream.
No, Beverly got to sit down the whole skit.
Yeah, but that wasn't a good look for her bony knees.
Oh no.
Her knees were the star of the show. She said patella. That's a Latin name for a knee. You know that. Patella. That's like Nutella but with a Sorry, we're going off topic. Back into the episode. They were all such fine actors, and I mean, who would you have said would have gotten an Oscar? I mean, sorry, we are down under, and as our resident expert, who do you think would have gotten a Logie?
Who would I give the Logie to?
Who would you?
Who would I give the Logie to? Anaconda.
I'd probably give it to RuPaul for
Anaconda.
acting like he found it funny.
Anaconda.
Yeah, Hannah. Yeah,
Anaconda.
Hannah was the best in the challenge. Closely followed by Minnie, then closely followed by...
The toilet.
Yeah, the toilet.
So, RuPaul, though, has decided who the tops and the bottoms are.
which I found strange in her choosing of them.
And they're being judged individually.
Yeah.
So in the top, we have Hannah, Minnie, and Spanky.
Yeah, I'm not sure if I would have seen Spanky in there. I probably would have replaced her with Molly.
In the bottom, we have Kong, Yuri, and Aubrey. There's a lot of people that could have been slotted in the bottom. And Aubrey, yes, her runway, she messed up a few times. Her in the challenge, she was fine.
Yeah, she definitely struggled a bit for me. I definitely thought she didn't have the same charisma as some of the other girls. She didn't give the same level of energy.
But you even think about Beverly, right?
Oh, I think Beverly could have been in the bottom.
Yeah.
I didn't think there was 3 bad people. I think the
Well,
tops.
then they should have did what they did on Snatch Game with us and put them all in the bottom.
I think they should only have bottoms every week. I mean, I guess they do. No, but I think they should only. I think they should only have critiques. No positive reinforcement.
No.
Flip the All Stars 8 format on its head and just have.
Knife fights.
Knife fights. No, I think the bottoms could have been interchangeable. There was people that did badly in different ways, and there was people that did slightly better. It was kind of pick of the bunch. But I think that Hannah and Minnie were definitely the standouts.
Yeah. So, Untucked. And this is where we find out that Minnie and Pamara have a little bit of beef outside of the show.
The girls are fighting.
Are they?
Well, it felt.
Are they really?
It felt tense.
It felt tense for 36 seconds.
I mean, if you were in a room with someone and someone said, "I always found you entitled and rude," that seems pretty accusational. It was just like they were edging each other, and they've been edging each other for 8 years. But I was like, "I waited 8 years to tell you this,"
But
and
then
Minnie was like,
"I
"Oh,
waited
okay."
8 years for you to tell you this, and then Minnie's like, "Give me a hug," and then it was done.
Maybe there was more we didn't see. Maybe chairs were thrown.
I don't know. But why did they put it in? It was literally.
I think the theme of Untucked is seeing queens having a little bit of minor conflict, and then someone
resolving
crying,
it.
and then people resolving it because they're all too emotional. This group is very emotional. We were just such cold, hard stone bitches. I was like, that person's upset, but to be honest, I don't really care that much. And I think we were all just a bit too focused on ourselves to care what the other people were doing.
Yeah.
Did you feel emotions during Drag Race? I don't remember you having a very emotional time. There's no standout moments where you would cry or anything like that.
No. I think I was pretty strong.
Yeah, I think you were.
Promoting, thousands of fans, expecting a certain level from me. And,
You clearly
I
didn't
clearly
deliver it. You were here.
That means nothing. That means nothing. That means nothing.
Does it feel good not to be going home on episode 2 this season?
Yeah, it's so good. The reason I love this show is because I am home. I don't have to, it doesn't fun. I don't care.
You can't get sent home if you're already home. Can I
Literally.
get an amen on that? Amen!
Amen.
Let the music play! Everybody wants to dance like a drag queen.
The winner of this week's challenge is Spanky.
Which was confusing to me because the episode didn't really set her up for that. We got this conversation about Minnie's dyslexia holding her back. We got a conversation with Hannah narrating how she's so excited to do it. We got struggle bus stories from other girls where we thought maybe they'll pull through. And then Spanky kind of snuck in from the sides and took the win with an awful outfit.
Spanky, I love you, but you should not have won this week. This is the second week in a row. The person that should have won, according to the edit, has not won.
And I think it's just the clues they're giving us in the edit. Because I think we're so trained to Drag Race that we're like, okay, the person who wins at the start, they have a little bit
I
of a
have
struggle.
eyes. Etcetera. I have eyes. There's no fucking clues. There's no red herrings.
No, but
I have eyes.
Rue said it was a puzzle. Rue
not a
said
puzzle.
it's a puzzle. You just gotta put the puzzle together.
No, I have eyes. I saw what Spanky was wearing. I saw what Hannah performed and did and wore and Minnie. I think it should have been a double win between Minnie and Hannah.
Yeah, for me, Hannah was the winner this week.
Yeah, the thing I can liken to it, because I have a cat, is you're not meant to use those toys that have the laser on the ground for cats, because when they catch it, there is no reward because it doesn't exist. They get really fed up because they're going for it constantly and there's no like reward at the end. I'm going for the people that are doing really well this entire time and I keep getting them. They don't win. And if I have to do this a whole season, I'm going to be very upset.
And guess who's holding the laser? RuPaul. What do you think at home? Who do you think's holding the laser?
If you're holding a laser right now, grab it now.
Hey, laser. Not meant to shine them at airplanes. That's a crime.
That's what it feels like.
Yeah, no,
you know what I mean, though?
It's wrong and it's rotted. And I felt this week watching it, I felt denied the opportunity to enjoy someone's success.
Yes.
Because seeing Hannah celebrate herself this episode and Minnie celebrate herself, I just felt like Spanky was like, yeah, I did good. But we also saw a moment when she won where Minnie was like, go Spanky. So maybe we didn't see something that happened in the room. Maybe Spanky did the Heimlich maneuver on Rue and saved her life. And maybe that's a contributing factor.
Congratulations.
Your number.
Going into the lip sync, we have Queen Kong and Aubrey Have. I didn't even need to watch the lip sync. We know who's going home.
And it's really unfortunate, but Kong is just such a powerhouse performer. And not only is she a powerhouse performer, but the minute the song starts, she feels at home on the stage.
The minute the song started, Aubrey lost. And that pains me to say. But Kong has been this very kind of airy-fairy, yeah, I'm just talking about how I feel, and I'm really slow.
Yeah, I'm just chilling out here. We're just all chilling out. I love drag.
But the minute, and it's like what Reese said on the runway, like, I know what you can do.
Oh, yeah.
Show this lady.
Yeah.
She showed this lady. Because the minute the song started, posture changed. She owned it. The song wasn't a very fast or dancey one, because that's what I'm used to seeing her perform.
Yeah.
But in stillness, she owned it.
When she did that one-handed cartwheel into the flip. How do you even do that?
I don't fucking know. Can we just Photoshop her spinning?
Ready, I'll do the post.
Pause.
I was really impressed with the lack of masturbation jokes in the lip sync.
No, I was going to say that. Well, I said it while we were watching. I was like, I'm really proud. There hasn't been one like masturbation joke, and then it cuts to Aubrey being like, all right, lip sync is over. RuPaul decides that Aubrey Have, it's time to sashay away.
And what a nice run. Good on you, Aubrey. And let me just say, for someone who has started drag literally 4 minutes ago, she has such an interesting viewpoint.
Well done. Been doing drag for a year, straight on RuPaul's Drag Race. I'm excited to see what's to come. I think there's lots of fun drag times ahead.
Yeah, can't complain about that.
Oh, no, babes.
Oh, Aubrey, ho.
Well, etc., etc. It has been absolutely a treat for you to be here at Kick-Ons. Thank you for coming to my patio. No, Mum's actually going to be here soon. So, have you got this? Yeah, thanks, actually, the official try.
Yeah.
You have to back off. Get out of my house! Okay, back off! Okay. She's doing the death spiral. And we'll see you next week for next week's episode of Kick-Ons. I'm Aunt Simone, and you're fucking fabulous. Bye.